Hello, welcome. This is Tuesday, March something. Tuesday, March 24th, and we are probably in our eighth session, I think, here on the Herschel 400 through the Astronomical League. I invite you, what we do is it's a virtual discovery of the Herschel 400 list at the Astronomical League. I'm not going to go through everything that we've been doing over the last 8 sessions, but it's covered in previous videos. And I invite you to check out all of those videos on my channel. Tonight we are going to use my virtual telescope out in Rockwood, Texas. Starfront Observatories. Did that come across properly? I think so. And we're going to check out the Herschel objects in Coma Berenices constellation. Let me show you. Our screen for tonight. I'll be down in the little window. I might pop up bigger every now and then when we want to talk, but we are going to jump right into this. We finished Leo, the constellation Leo, last night, and we're going to Coma Berenices tonight. A lot of galaxies. There are 23 Herschel objects in Coma, and all of them, let me make sure I'm looking at this right, all of them but one are galaxies. The first one tonight is a globular cluster. So I'm very excited. I don't think I've had a globular cluster, maybe one so far in our observations. And tonight, I don't know, it depends on my level of fatigue and stamina here, how late I go. There are 23 in Coma. I normally do this for about an hour, and then we go to the next night or next opportunity. I do this when the moon is a problem for my deep sky imaging. And yeah, the moon's definitely a problem right now. And this is a cool little project that I decided to do. So we are going, if you can see my screen, I think you can. We're going to NGC 4147. Now, if you look down at the bottom of the corner here, I use a list I've printed out. It's in constellation order and in right ascension order. And it's straight from the Astronomical League. Let me check one thing here. Let me make sure my volume's coming through on you guys. Where'd it go? Okay, here we go. Might get a little feedback here. Checking 1, 2. Okay, I think we're good. Refresh this window. I try to monitor the broadcast to make sure we're all proceeding properly here. And but thanks for joining me. And if you are wanting to join along in the progress here of monitoring the Herschel, let me show you a couple things real quick. I have links in the video description, but on my web page, I have a password protected page. The reason I do this is try to maintain the authenticity of the progress on the Herschel, to keep it legit. And it's interesting. So I am going to upload all the images of the Herschel 400s onto this webpage. What we do is capture about 5 minutes of stacked exposures, 30-second sub-exposures. And that's our observation. We look at the object, look at some of the Sky Safari and a couple of other planetariums. I also use Burnham's Celestial Handbook as a potential reference here for object information. So we check that out. see what the object is, log our observation. I'll mark it off on my sheet with a pink highlighter you can see here. And that's our observation. And at the end, we're going to submit this to Astronomical League and get an award certificate. Again, all of that is linked in the description. This is the web page that if you just simply send me an email, I will send you the password to that. And you can join along with me. Let's get our observation started here. Kick the Can cluster, NGC 4177. Again, a globular cluster. I'm very excited. Let's see how we do here on our first go-to for the night. Where are we here in terms of, oh, you know what? That's pretty low on the horizon. Let's see how we do. You know what I'm going to do, just out of an abundance of caution, I'm going to stop here. I'm going to take an image, make sure we're progressing. I like to make sure the mount knows where it's going before we slew too far, maybe get out of hand. Let's see if it's going where we wanted it to go. Yeah, I think we're in good shape. Let's continue our slew to NGC 4177. Jump in the chat. I do have the chat limited to those people who are subscribers for at least 5 minutes. I think that's a reasonable thing to ask to participate in this. This has been just such a fun project. It really has helped the productivity of my Starfront experience because I just don't image when the moon is complicated. Even in narrowband imaging, I find it to be a compromise. I just don't want to deal with a bunch of uneven illuminated fields, and it complicates some of the processing. Okay, I think we are where we want to go. So what we're going to do is go back out. And yeah, looks like he's there. Let's start gathering data. I did not check this. Hopefully we're still saved from last night. Let's do this. Make sure we take our, or remove our flats, dark and bias. Please work properly. There we go. Oh, I need to make sure my exposures are set. 30 seconds. And for 10 minutes. That's perfect. I'll stop it prematurely. I just kind of monitor it, and when we get enough data, we stop the exposure, and I save it. Save it, and then I upload it to that web page I showed you earlier. So let's explore. We'll zoom in there. Let's explore a little bit about NGC 4177 before we get our image here while it builds. Let me check. Sorry, I was actually napping before this because it's been a long day, and I wanted to make sure I had at least some energy here before we started. And we'll see how long I can hold up here. GC 4147. Ooh, we should have a cool field here. We have a lot of field galaxies. Of course, that's what you'd expect in Coma. And we might even have, I think, no, that's the next object. We got we're going to have several fields tonight where I think we're going to have multiple objects in the same field. Let's see what our information here is on NGC 4177. Let me zoom out again, show you where we are. Coma is in the east. You know, we're very low in the east, of course, on this object. So this is, hopefully we're going to continue to rise as we go here through the night. But Coma is marked by, you can see this little L, a right angle, 90-degree angle. That's kind of the prominent stars of Coma Berenices. And the reason I picked this is it's a fair distance from the moon. Moon. I'm not going to zoom over to the moon right now. I want to keep it here on our field, but you can see we are in the land of galaxies with this this globular cluster. So this is a magnitude 10, 4.4 arc minutes in apparent size. It's 63 kilolight years away, and let's see here. The diameter is 80 light years in diameter. So these globular clusters, obviously, we've been used to thousands, tens of thousands of light years in diameter with our galaxies, but just an 80 light year diameter object here. And let's see what Stellarium has to say. Do I still have Stellarium up here? Let's see. Maybe it's on my other. Thought it must have closed it from the other night. The Starfront website, they show you the 360 cam at the website. I am in building number 9. So this is our building, and my telescope is that one right there. You can see it with the cursor. With moonlight, I can see my telescope at night. Normally I can't. Well, let's go look at the image. I want to get that Stellarium up and running. I can't believe I closed that. Did I really close that? I guess I did. See if I can jump right back into Stellarium. Well, hopefully that worked. Let's see here. Are we on the right time? 10:55. That isn't. I can't remember if I got that. I might have to come back and visit this. Let's not dilly-dally on this. Let's go back and look at our image. See what we're building. Okay. It's pretty concentrated, very small object. But that is NGC 4147, the only globular cluster on our agenda for tonight. We are going to mark that as viewed. And we have begun our Coma Berenices exploration. Let's go to 4150. NGC, oops, I need to stop that exposure. What do we get here? We got about 6 minutes. Let's download that. One other thing I like to do, I like downloading the annotated image. So let's do this. Thank you. And let's annotate that. Let's see if, you know what, we didn't explore, did we? There's NGC 4064. Did we look at that? 4064. It looks like it might be in another constellation. That sounds familiar. Those Leos were all 3000s. I don't see it. It is not an object in the Herschel for us tonight. Let me see real quick here if NGC 4147 is covered in Burnham's. I don't think it is. I think I looked earlier. They have some other globulars there, but I don't have 4147. Boy, we really have some cool galaxies here. I haven't done pre-research to see if these galaxies are on the Herschel list, but let's keep looking. Let's go to our next object for the night, NGC 4150. But that was called Kick the Can cluster. So I like to make notes of what some of these nicknames are. 4150. I believe if my camera is oriented properly, we're going to have two objects in this. No cute name on this one. Let's see where we are. Okay, we're going a little bit better direction there. I like going up. Off of the horizon. I have something new on my Peer camera. What is that? That's interesting. I don't remember that bag. Let me zoom in on this. You see that baggie? I don't remember that. Maybe the moon's illuminating it, but it looks like a baggie. And all my extra stuff is in a box there. So I do like having plenty of spare cables. And I don't remember that. I don't remember that baggie on the system setup. There's something new going on there. All right, 4150. Let's check him out. Let's get that exposure going. And let's see what Sky Safari has to say about NGC 4150. Spiral Galaxy. Magnitude 11.65. Actual document here has magnitude 12.5. There's a lot of inconsistencies in magnitudes from the official Astronomical League page to the Sky Safari. And I found that Stellarium was closer to the Astronomical League. Kind of small, 2x1 arc minutes, 50 million light years away. That's kind of average for our distances we've been doing, in a 28 kilolight year diameter. So it's relatively small. You can see here we have several field galaxies. Let's see if my camera orientation is in a way that will pick some of these up. Let's go to here. Yeah, this is a really small object. Let's zoom in. They're not popping up here yet. It looks like a cluster of some kind right there. 4169 is in the field, but that is not a Herschel object, but that looks like a multiple galaxy. Okay, no other field galaxies. This might be that. Let's see what this is here. See if we can get our annotation to work. Yeah, 4136 is another non-Herschel, but it's a field galaxy. And then they're not. This annotation is not even going to give me this notation here. Yeah, this is the galaxy right there, 4150. Pretty nondescript, not a whole lot of detail. So we aren't going to gather too much on this. The one galaxy that we start to get some information on is this one here. Let me see if Burnham's has anything on 4150. I don't see anything off the top here. Don't see anything. So we're going to save NGC 4150. We know it's that object when we save it because the scope's pretty well centered. We're going to download that, mark that as complete with our pink highlighter. I'm going to skip down one because I think it's a little closer than the next object that the Astronomical League actually has. And I tell you what, I will also do. If we want to do a screen capture, just got to remember that's NGC 4150, but I'll give you that option too. Let's go back out to, I like to keep all three of these windows open so I can see the sky at Starfront and I can see where my scope is going. I'm just a little anal on that. Excuse me. Let's go to, try to pick up our pace a little bit so we get a fair number of these knocked off tonight. NGC 4, actually I want to go down to 4245 because earlier this evening I was checking some of the positions of these galaxies, and this one is, as you can see, just outside the field of view of my the current view. So this will be a very quick slew. Thanks for joining me. We're going through the Herschel 400. This is, I think, about session 8 or 9. After tonight, we're going to be about 100 objects into this. And I feel like we've started to accomplish something. 1/4 of the way through, I'm hoping to finish this project up this year. And I just do this while the moon's out. Not the most ideal viewing conditions, but when it's nice, I am doing deep sky photography. So let's see what Sky Safari has to say about NGC 4245. Well, he's in a nice field if my camera is oriented that way. All right, how big? He looks a little bigger, barely. He's 2.5 by 1.6 arc minutes. He is 51 million light years away and is a 37 kilolight year diameter, so it's a little bigger galaxy, but he's a little further away, I think, right, than our previous one at 51 million light years away. A spiral galaxy in Coma, Berenices. See if we're able to get, again, not a whole lot of, there we go. We got some of these nice galaxies up here. It's a nice little edgy spiral there. Probably another, maybe lenticular galaxy there. Now, this field has a lot of galaxies. See this little guy here? Let me go to full screen for you here. Edge on down there. There's another. There's our main one. Let's see what annotation does for us. It does give us 4245. Thank you. And it gives us 4274. Are you? Yes, you're a Herschel. So we're going to mark off 4274. 4278 is also a Herschel. So we are getting 3 in 1 on this view. So we will look those up. But 4274 is definitely the winner of this beauty pageant. Is 4314. Yeah, and that's one too. So I tell you what, we're going to knock off 4 right here. We're going to let this exposure go nice and deep. 4314 looks a little bit like that Darth Vader spaceship thing we had. I think that was maybe in Cetus. 4314. All right, let's look these up. Make sure we're giving them just due. That thing has an interesting light tail coming off of this. I don't know if that's a complete halo there. Let's let, that's only 5 images stacked right there. Let's let those finish stacking, but we are going to let this complete out because that's a winner there. Where do we start? We started with 4245, and we've already done that. Let's see what information is out there on 4274. In Sky Safari, you're going to be, let me try. I have two Macs that are working, and when I'm in full screen, it's kind of hard. I'm on my home Mac now. 4274. This is one of our bigger objects for tonight as far as diameter. Info. 10th magnitude, spiral galaxy, 3.6 by 1 arc minutes in size. It's 66, almost 67,000 light years in diameter. It's a barred spiral. And does it say? 63 million light years away. Yeah, that's what we're seeing right there. And the other was 4278. 4278. It's an elliptical. 10th magnitude elliptical galaxy, 60 million light years away. It's 2.9 by 2.8. Not much detail, if you remember from our image. And 4314. 4314. 4314. Yeah. 10th magnitude spiral galaxy, 56 million light years away, 3.7 by 3.6. So it's about as big as the previous one, and 60,000 light years in diameter. So it's a good field. That's that one there. They say this is, wait a minute, they say this one, 4314, is about as big as 4274. I can kind of see it. You can see that. You can see this almost halo ring. Let me take the annotation off. Yeah, can you see that? How are we building out here? There's 10 images stacked. I might let this stack out because we're knocking off 4 objects here. And that really helps our efficiency for the night. Join me in the chat. Let me know what you're checking out. Are you imaging? Are you a visual observer? Are you just new to astronomy? Do you have questions about astronomy, telescopes? And let me go back to the annotation. I'm going to save both an annotated and a non-annotated image on this one. Since we're, again, knocking off 4, you can tell where the moon is, right? It's over here on this upper left side. I have a hunch that we're going to have more of these multiple object fields tonight, and that's going to help us be very efficient. Let me see. I want to get a nice, good image of this 4. I think it's 4274 right there. He's a good one. That's my favorite of the night. It's got this. Look at this bright ring with an inner dust. There's actually a couple of little inner dusts. There's a bright knot right there, and then this faint outer arm. I think they said that was a spiral galaxy. And this guy's interesting. This is definitely, look at this arc of light, this arm that comes up this way. So that's a barred. I guess we're seeing him from the top. This is face on. And these are the arms coming this way. A very tight barred spiral. Very concentrated nucleus with this bright disk that comes off. But to me, it looks like we're looking at this from the top, unless it has a halo arm that extends up, and even this one to the bottom, if we're looking at it edge on. Okay, we're good. This is good. This is 9 minutes, almost 9 minutes in. Let me let this get to the 9-minute mark, and then we're going to save this image. Thanks for joining me. I'm Jeff Ball Photography. Everything's linked in the description. We're going to make a strong run at getting 100 objects into the 400 Herschel 400 tonight. If we're as efficient as we were with this field. All right, we are going to stop right there. And we are going to save that image. Then I'm going to save the annotated image. That's the one I'm going to submit to the to the Astronomical League for the Herschel certificate. It's a long process. I'm hoping to do this year, finish it. Annotation, save that one. If you have any questions, I cover all of the setup and the introduction and what we're doing in previous videos. So I invite you to check those out. And if you want a little surprise video, really invite you to check out the Cetus video. There were some really cool objects on that constellation. All right, 4203. 4203 is our next object. Four two zero three. No cute name there. Just a little bit up and above our current field. Go back out so you can see where the telescope is pointing and see the brightening moon. I don't think we're at first quarter yet, but we're probably getting pretty close. 4203. Let's take our annotation off. Let's start our live stacking, and let's go to Sky Safari and see what 4203 says. An elliptical, so it's probably not going to be much detail. Got some other NGCs in here. 4277, that is not a Herschel. 4229 is not a Herschel. I applaud anyone who has done this visually. Some of these would be very challenging, especially these ellipticals. They're just slight. Some of them are slightly non-stellar, even in an imaging train. So this is 4203 elliptical. It's a magnitude 10. It's 3.4 by 1.4, 49 million light years away, and 48 kilolight years in diameter. So it's an average size, average distance for what we've been observing at roughly 50 million light years. And this is about what I expected. He's a little more circular than others, but yeah, he's pretty boring. These ellipticals don't tend to have any type of detail to them. They might occasionally have a brighter ring or a little bit of a dark dust lane that you can pull out, but for the most part, they're just like a star-like center with a haze. And we'll let this build out just a little bit. If you'll give me a minute, I would like to get Stellar View up and running. So, I'm not that proficient with it, but I want to, let's see, how do I tell it? I want to go to, near Kingman. So this is near Kingman. Okay. Did it save my last location? I want it to be near, let's just say near San Angelo. Let's do San Angelo. That's close enough. San Angelo, Texas. That's good. Use this location. All right. Let's go to NGC 4203. I like a lot of things that Stellarium does, especially in the images, they have a lot better representation of what these objects look like. That's interesting. They call this a linear type active galaxy nucleus. A spiral linear active. And let's zoom in. Yeah, pretty nondescript. They also tell me when William Herschel observed and documented it. So this one was 1787. Which is pretty late. If I remember, we were, I believe, in 1748 for a lot of his findings last night. Is that right? So 1787 seems later in the process. Could be wrong on that. I'll double check my date. But if there's anyone that can straighten me up on that in chat, I would appreciate it. Kind of last night, it seemed like almost all of our Leos were a lot earlier than that. So that's 4203. Let's not linger there. We're going to 4251. 4251 next. We got to save this image. Let me enlarge it. I'll give you guys an opportunity if you want to do a screenshot. We got enough on that. Do a screenshot. There's that. Again, NGC 4203. Did the annotation ever come up? Yeah, it did. Okay. What else is in there? Nothing else annotated in that field. All right, so let's save that. And I'm going to save the non-annotated. How's everybody's basketball bracket? We did one at work. I think 8th place out of 10. So, but I still have Duke as a potential winner. So I know there are a lot of points still on the table, but I don't think I can win. It depends. There are a couple of other workers ahead of me that have winning teams still in the playoff. Let's go to NGC 4251. 4251. Hey, did anybody see Project Hail Mary over the weekend? I read the book. Did you read the book? Did you see the movie? I read the book and just absolutely loved it. I loved it actually more than The Martian. This does not have a name, a cute name or anything, so we're still in the same galactic neighborhood. Let's watch our scope as it slews. And I thought the movie was one of the best adaptations of a book. If you love the book, you're always trepidatious about what are they going to do here? What liberties are they going to take? How much can they change? And I know you can't represent the whole book 100% in one movie, but I thought Lord and Miller and Gosling and the Rocky team just captured the essence of that book perfectly. I can't remember the Russian scientist lead of the Project Hail Mary, but I thought it was really well done and visually just a spectacle at moments. So I encourage you to really check out Project Hail Mary. I'm curious to hear from those who have not read the book. When they see the movie, I'm curious to hear what they think about the movie. It's so rare that I see a movie and I end up just pleasantly happy with the way they've adapted it. Where are we? 4251. Spiral Galaxy. Okay. Could be a little edgy on 10th magnitude, 63 million light years away, 2.3 by 1.2. These are tiny, diameter 43,000 light years, so kind of a small galaxy at a decent distance. See what Stellarium has to say. Magnitude 11, 2.1. Yeah, doesn't say much. Yeah, he's going to be very nondescript. We are not going to linger on this guy. Not impressive. Well, actually, I think he looks better in that image. It's a little bit more edge on. Is that the right one? Let's do an annotation. 4251. Right there it is. Well, that's a little better than I was expecting. It's not a lot of detail, but it is an edge on. And that helps. So we just want to get enough exposure here. It's just two images stacked. Let's get enough exposure to do this, a little bit of justice. Try to get the noise down, and then we'll move on to our next one. Do we have, let me look down here and see if we have any larger. They don't really tell me the size of the object. Well, there it is. They sometimes give you sizes on the list, but they don't give me any sizes here on the Coma galaxies. Let's stack this one more image. And then we're going to move on to NGC 4293. That's 4 images stacked. We're good. I'm going to do an annotated download. And then the FITS file also has the NGC designation, so that helps. But as long as the annotation doesn't really cover up some of the object, I'm good with just carrying that annotation. I'm going to take my vest off. I was in my office and gotten a little chilly. All right, let's go to, downloaded that. Let's go to our next one, 4293. Ooh, I did not mark off 4251. Don't let me forget to do that. Anybody watch golf here? I watched Tiger play tonight in the Indoor Golf League. It was his first competitive round of golf, and his team got killed. Justin Rose and Thigala and Tommy Fleetwood just totally obliterated their team tonight. And they were the best team all year, the Los Angeles team in that the golf league. Golf and astronomy aren't really high overlapping interests, but it is for me and our family. We watch a lot of golf. All right, let's start those exposures. Let's see what Sky Safari says about this object. NGC 4293. Let me mark off 4251. All right, where are we here? We are, what time is it? 10:47. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We are 8 objects in. This is a spiral galaxy. Nope, I did not do that right. 4293. All right, give us a big one. Oh, we're going back down toward the horizon. All right, he looks a little bigger. It's a 42 million light years away. Hey, it's 6.2 by 3.7 arc minutes. We got a bigger one here. All right, let's see. Let's go to, just out of curiosity, before we go to what our image is, let's see what Stellarium has to say. NGC 4293. Yeah. Now we're getting somewhere. This looks like a a deep, dark dust lane here. A spiral liner type active galaxy nucleus. Magnitude 12. He's not bright, but he's big. What did I say the distance was on that? It's a lenticular galaxy. 1784 discovery. Okay, let's see what we're getting. Yeah, okay. Start to see that. I'm sure good exposure time would help. Let's see what. Oh, we got a couple of other bright objects. Let's see what else we got in this field. 4293. Thank you. Give me some more annotations. 4382. Are you? Oh, it's like playing bingo. 4382 is not a Herschel. It's 4392. It is not a Herschel. Oh, sorry, 4394. It is. 4394 is. We got a twofer. This is bingo. Bingo card. All right, that's good. And 4350, 4340. Come on, give me a zoom in. 4350, 4340. 4350 is, you know what, I'm gonna scoot over to that one. I don't want that right on the edge, so I'm not gonna count that one. But I'm gonna count 4394 and 4293. So while we're building this data out, since we got a twofer, you can see this dust lane really starting to come out here with these exposures. So let's go to Sky Safari on 4394. 4394. Got a twofer. I love it. That'll help us get through this. 4394. Yeah. Here's a good one. Well, that's the smaller one here. What is that one? That's M85. So it's right there with M85. 4394, 10th magnitude, 81 million light years. So I think it's our furthest object tonight, 3.5 by 3.4 in size. And it's an 80,000 light year diameter. So this is a bigger galaxy at a further distance, but still able to hold that size on our sky. And let's go to Stellarium and check out 4394. I'll just do that. Nope. I have to type in NGC. 4394. Yeah, there we go. About what Sky Safari was showing. Let me see when Mr. Herschel discovered this. 1784. Okay. See how our image is building out. Okay, looks good. So what did I say that was? M85 is NGC 4382. Yeah, M85. The 4394 is right on top of it there. Okay, that's good. 9 images. Let's see if we can get one more stacked here. Stack 10, and we are going to count that a day. And I'm going to download that annotated version since I have multiple objects, but I'm going to mark those off. 4293 and 4394. And I think 4350 was in there, right? But I'm gonna zoom over to that one. It was right on the edge of the. That looks good. That looks good. Right on the edge of the field. I don't want to give it that type of justice. It deserves more than that. Okay. NGC 4350. Should be a pretty close slew. No cute name here. Yeah, exactly where we thought we'd be going. It's right on the edge of our field. This will give us 11 objects tonight. That's pretty good. We are a little bit less than an hour, so we're doing all right. Let's try to speed through this one. Take that annotation off. Let me start that live stack, and let's go to Sky Safari and see what 4350 Spiral Galaxy. Yeah, we've seen it. I think it's a decent looking. It's also got a little brother there, 4340, not a Herschel 400. This is a Spiral Galaxy, magnitude 10, 2.8 by 1.3, 48 million light years away, and 39 kilolight years in diameter. So very average for our night tonight. Let's see what Stellarium has to say. I should be checking my Burnhams, but I'm really trying to get through these. Four three four zero looks more interesting. I mean, you gotta ask, when did it doesn't give me the discovery date on this one. You gotta ask, why do you note this one? Well, it could be a Herschel notation in the 4340. I should be wrong. Not all Herschel notations are in the Herschel 400. I'll have to get into the derivation of the Herschel 400 on one of these broadcasts. I've got some of the original documentation that the club, Astronomy Club did it, that came up with it. And yeah, I think that, let me do this annotation. Let me do the expanding. That 4340 is a more interesting object, I think. Looks like it's face on. 4350 is a little bit more edge on. But we're not going to gather too much here. That's already 2, and we're getting what we need. And since 4340 is not a Herschel, but I like having the annotation because that way you can really show that you've observed 4350, unlike sometimes visually, you may not be sure at the scope as to these two might look very similar in many telescopes. Let's stack one more, and then we're going to move on. Let me look at Burnhams here at some of these more. Four, 5, 6, 5 is not. 4725. Let's see if we got any of these really. Yeah, 4725 is. That's a cool looking galaxy. And well, there was a supernova. The reason it's in Burnham's, there was a supernova in 1940 that Mount Wilson and Palomar picked up on. You know what? I might go. I'll save it. I got to remember. I'm going to make a note here that that's a good Burnham's reference. Don't know if we'll get there tonight. That might be a Coma Berenices night 2. I might go to M100 just for fun. M64 is also in here. That's a very nice. That's the Black Eye Galaxy. NGC 4274. Oh, that is in Burnham's, and that is one we looked at. They did have a picture of that one. It's a Palomar picture, and to be honest, it's. I know you're not going to be able to see it really well, but it's there's not much to it. This is the Palomar 4274. So, yeah, that one not one of the more impressive Palomars. So we're good. I think we got all we need on this one. Stop. I'm going to save that annotation version, and we have 4350. Let's go to 4414. I might do a couple of these bigger ones just for fun. M100, the largest spiral of the Virgo galaxy cluster. Let me see where that is. M100. We might take a little side journey here. See how close it is to my current field. I've never imaged M100. I don't do a lot of galaxies. The blow, ASI Air calls this the blow dryer galaxy. Well, good gracious, it's right there. I can't believe it's not. You know what? It's got to be in my field of view right here. Right there it is. Right there it is. All right, let's give him. I didn't even zoom out. Right there, M100. All right. Well, we're gonna just count that. There's M100 right there. I didn't even have to zoom to it. I slew to it. What else do we have here? 4396. Not a 4421. Not a Herschel 400. We have another 445. We've done 4450. Okay, so we got M100 right there. He's a nice one. Actually, I did that. I take that back. I do have a current project with M100 and some other galaxies. This isn't quite the orientation, but I'm very excited about processing that up. All right, let's go to NGC 4414. Interesting. I think I saved that, right? Let me double check it. All right, we're good. GC 4414. See how we're slowing. We're in a pretty good spot in the sky. GC 4414. Let's take our annotation off. Let's start gathering data. All right, NGC 4414. You know what? Before we go anywhere, let's see if we got anything else in our field. It's not looking good. Goodness, this is pretty empty field of view for being in the heart of galaxy clusters. I think we're up on that northern edge of Coma. Let's see what Sky Safari gives us here. 4414. Yeah, we're kind of up on that edge. You can see where we're going out. This could be nice. It looks like it's still not a big 1.9 by 1.1, 54 million light years away, but it's 1.9 by 1.1 arc minutes. And it's 30 kilolight years away. I'm sorry. Correct that, 30 kilolight years in diameter. So it's a little smaller and 54 million light years away. So it's about average. But this looks like it has some detail to it. Let's see if we can pick up those darker bands. Let's see what Stellarium has. I actually like the image in Sky Safari better. See if it tells us when Mr. Herschel discovered this. 1785. 1785. All right, let's see what our data is building out. Okay, I can kind of see that detail. See if we have any other objects in the field. Oops. No deep sky. That's weird. So it doesn't want to annotate anything in this field. Yeah, we thought it was a pretty empty looking field, but you can definitely see some modeling here. Whether these are the spiral arms, that is a spiral galaxy, right? Yeah, spiral galaxy. So you can see you can see this modeling. You can see here in this image. I'll zoom in on this one. You can see these spiky type structures coming off. I can start to see some hints of that in our image. Yeah, can you see this right over here? Look at this is a bright knot right there. But this, we'll let this, how are we doing our, let me go full screen. That's only 4 stacked images. We will continue to build that out just a little bit, but a lot of naughtiness in this one. I like this galaxy, probably my second favorite, or one of our better galaxies tonight. I like the way this structure is, but this would certainly benefit from a lot more focal length. But NGC 4414, I'm going to mark off. How many is that for tonight? Where are we here in time? We're right at about an hour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 12 for the night. All right, do we want to make a run? All right, let's try it. We're going to try it. We're going to speed up our process here. We're going to stop that. We're going to download that. I'm going to put an asterisk next to 4414. That's one of my top 3s for tonight. Okay, let's go to our next. Come on, guys. There we go. NGC 4419. No cute name. All right, coming back down toward the horizon a little bit. I think we're still good in terms of scope position. Yeah, we're not. I don't think my camera's at an awkward angle. I think we're good. It would really be helpful if we get a multiple object. Oh, we got M100 in this. Oh, you know what? This might be really close to the field I was imaging that I have currently on my processing. Actually, I'm working on it right now. 4419. Oh, we got some in there. Let's keep our fingers crossed. 4377. No, we've already gone through the 4 3s. 4421 is not Herschel. 4396. Nope. 4379. No. We're into 4400s. 4405. No. We need 4448. 4383. Yeah, our bingo card is really not good right now. 4377. We need 4400s. Oh, 4459. No. 4468. No. We have 4474. No. Those are not Herschel's. 4477. and 4473R and 4479. You know, we might go to those next because, but we'll knock those two off. But I'm not gonna count them because they're right on the edge. I'm not gonna count those. So let's gather our data and let's go to Sky Safari and see what they have to tell us on 4419. 4419. Okay, this looks elongated. Spiral in magnitude 11, 3.9 by 1.3. This looks good. 57 million light years away, and this is a 64 kilolight year. So it's probably a little larger than average galaxy, and at about an average 57 million light years. Yeah, he looks good. It's just amazing, but to me, that looks so much brighter than some of the other objects we've looked at tonight, and that's a magnitude 12, right? 4419. Let me make sure. Come on. Oh, no. Okay, that was my previous image. Sorry. All right, let's see if annotation can work here. Oh, there's a big spider. Sorry about that. Oh, you guys. Yeah. Got him. 4419. And like we said in our field of view, here's our M100 over here again. He's just creeping into several of our images. Yeah, this is close to, I'm working on a field that has an example of many types of galaxies, and I'm processing that data. So 4419 looks good. I'm not going to linger too long on that one. Let's just see, out of curiosity, what Stellarium has on it. Okay, that's what we're seeing. When did Mr. Herschel? 1784. It's a barred spiral. Barred spiral. I think we got enough data on this. Yeah, we're not going to get any more detail there. We're going to stop that. We're going to download that. And what I do is I crop these images. I upload them to my webpage I showed you earlier. If you have any questions, check out some of my previous videos. We are now in about session number 8. This is the website. It is password protected, but just send me an email. Say, hey, Jeff, I'd like to access your Herschel 400 because I'm going to try to do it virtually on my own, or I'm going to work with you on the pursuit of the Astronomical League virtual certificate. Let me enlarge this. I'll give you this. If you want to do a screenshot, there's that. I think I downloaded that, right? Yeah, we're good. So we're going to mark that off, 4419. All right, let's pick up our pace a little bit. 4448. 4448. I think I'm going to make a run here, trying to knock off Coma Berenices tonight. And that's going to get me really close to 100 objects. I would feel like I'm getting somewhere on this. 400's a lot. And I'm really hoping to finish this year. Thanks for joining me. This is Jeff Ball Photography. Links all in the video description on my webpage. Tons of information. We are at Starfront Observatories in Texas. 4448. Let's go ahead and start grabbing some data. Doing 30-second sub-exposure stacking, somewhere around 5 minutes on most of these objects. And let's just do it real quick. Sky Safari. What did I say? 4448. Can you believe all of these galaxies? It's amazing, and God's creation is amazing. Nice field, a lot of galaxies. This is an 11th magnitude, 78 million light years, 1.6 by 1 arc minutes in size. This is a small fella. So let's see if we've started. We haven't even finished our first. Let's go to Stellarium. 4448. Yeah, he is not going to have a whole lot of detail. A funky galaxy up here, though. Look at this guy. Maybe an ARP galaxy there. Different structure. When did, does it say when Mr. Herschel discovered this? No. He's a small one. Not a whole lot of new detail there. Let's go see if we're getting anything yet. There, have we stacked one? I think that's it. Let's see if we annotate. No annotation. Does anything get annotated? No. What's going on there? Interesting. I have a gray. See that line up at the top? That's interesting. I'm not sure what's going on there. Not noticed that. I don't know if I'm losing a column of pixels or what. I don't think I've seen that on other images. Go to last night's images. This was probably from last night. Yeah, see, I don't see it there. Just seeing it tonight. There's the Hamburger Galaxy from last night. Interesting. Might have to revisit some. Might be a dark frame or some type of subtraction that LiveStack is doing. I don't know. I'd have to figure that out. But yeah, it's the first night I've seen that. But I think we're good. I think we're getting enough information there. That is 5 stacks. Let's count that. That is, let me see. The annotation is just not going to kick in for that field. There's that weird ARP. I'm going to call it an ARP. But that's that weird galaxy right there. That really elongated. And it's got this squirrely little tail there. Let's download this guy. That is NGC 4448. 4450 is next. NGC 4450. These are in right ascension order on the print out from the Astronomical League. So there's a little bit of slewing. As far as slewing efficiency, I'm not sure this is the best way to do it, but it's so structured and organized. I like it. It keeps things nice and tidy. Where are we here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This will be our 15th object of the night. Let's start gathering data. Let's see what Sky Safari has to say about 4450. Be nice to get a multiple object field. Doesn't look like this is going to be it. Maybe. is that one right there? That's M100. I keep going back to M100. I really like M100. It's a nice face on. Well, did I? Sorry, I left our main object, didn't I? 4450. Let me go back to that. 4450. Looks like he might be a decent size. Yeah. NGC. Am I in the right object here? NGC 4450. Okay, it's one of our bigger objects. 54 million light years, but it's 5.5 by 3.8 arc minutes. So this must be a big galaxy, and it is. 85 kilolight years in diameter down there. The very last line on this screen is where I'm picking up those diameters. So this is a big galaxy, and at a average distance away. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Actually, I did. What happened to my ASI error? I've minimized that guy. There we go. Yeah, he's a big one. Yeah, he's a big one. What is this one again? It might be. It's not M100. I keep getting. That looks like a Messier object. Give me an annotation here. There we go. Yeah, that's M85. Goodness, we've been all around this. We may have imaged 4450. I can't remember. M85, 4394. We've observed those. And this is 4450. Is 4498. 4498 an object? No. 4494 is 4494. Sorry, 4498 is not. All right, so there's 4450. NGC 4450. There's a little bit of that. You can see the spiraling arms. I'm going to mark you off. We're going to go to 4459. That's 4 stacked images. We're gonna call that good. Download that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 more. See if we can power through this. Knock off Coma Berenices in one night. 23 objects. That gets me to about 100 of the Herschel 400. So we're making progress. Trying to give each object its due, making a legitimate observation of the object to make the earning of the certificate a well-deserved honor. Those who do it visually, kudos. 4459. This will be a quick slew. Man, I hope we need a good multiple object field. Start our imaging. Let's go back out to our field here. Got a lot of Messiers right there. Let's see what these guys are down here. 4474, no. 4473, yes. 4461, 4438, no. But we got at least 2. What are you right here? That's M88. Don't know what the NGC is for M88. All right, well, we got at least 2 here. So this is good. Let's build our image out. And let's go check out some Sky Safari stuff. 4459. Another good size, right at that 50 million light year mark, 4.2 by 3.2 arc minutes, and 62 kilolight year. I think that other one was 80, right? So this is a little smaller. Yeah, not much detail. Let's see what Stellarium has on. NGC 4459. Yeah, no detail hardly at all here. Got a pretty cool NGC 4474, not in our field. Let's see. I know we got one more object here. I can't remember. I should have marked it. Mr. Herschel discovered this in 1787. And it's NGC 4459 is a member of the Virgo galaxy cluster. So not all Virgo galaxy clusters are in Virgo, right? I haven't even started Virgo yet, I don't think. Yeah, not much detail here. But let's see if we get an annotation. Oh, yeah, that's one of our better annotations of the night. We have a lot. Yeah, there's a cool one. NGC 4501. Is that? No, it is not a Herschel. M88, cool galaxy. No, but we're doing Herschels, and it's a little bit off the beaten path. Sometimes you get an overlap of a pretty awesome object, but for the most part, this is a challenge for observing. This NGC 4438, look at that galaxy. There's something whacked going on there. This is like a warped, bent arm scenario there. So it might be gravitationally being impacted by this galaxy. Sure looks like it visually. I will leave that to the experts. What else did we say we were going to get here? We have 4459. 4473. No, 4477. Yeah, there it is. Okay, it's perfect. Perfect. Right there. We're going to get those two. And they're really just... I'm still getting that light bar up here. Yeah, I am. It must be a bad... it's got to be the way they're subtracting a flat or subtracting one of the calibration frames during this live stack, because I've never seen that. All right, NGC 44774459. Let's do a quick 4477 Sky Safari. Because we did not look him up. 4477. He's part of Markarian's chain. Is that right? NGC 4477. Yeah. You know, I like Markarian's chain, but to me, it's a lot of these nondescript galaxies. Oh, yeah, okay. This is the Eyes galaxy. That is NGC 4435. Yeah, that's a cool galaxy. But I just don't find the Markarian's chain galaxies very intriguing. I know I shouldn't say that, but that's where I am. So this is one of the last of the Markarian's chain galaxies. As far as going right to left. And so I guess, yeah, this is the chain coming up this way. Yeah, I'm not framing it properly, but these would be the galaxies in the Markarian's chain. And that's why they're all noted with the annotation. So 4477 and 4459 are both part of Markarian's chain. I might make that note. 4459 Markarians. I'm just going to put Markarians. I don't know if they're the only ones we have there, but I think we've looked. We go to 4494. I don't know if that's in this group yet. I don't see it. All right, we're going to count this. We're going to stop right there. But that was a twofer. We're going to download that image. Four 4473. It's the last one on this page. All right, let's knock this off. Let's knock this off. I don't think I'll do any tomorrow night. The moon's eventually just going to be too bright for me to really. It's also a Markarian's chain. It's got to be in our 4473. It's got to be in our image. Where are you? Right there you are. Okay. We got 3. Yeah, we're counting 4473 as well. All right. That page is done. Let's go to the last. How many are we on here? If you're just joining us, I got a list. It's hard to see, but this is printable off the Astronomical League, all of the Herschel 400. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 6, 4494. Are you in this field? 4494. I don't see him. All right. 4494. No real cute name. All right. I think this was a good spot in the sky to work tonight, though. Pretty far from the moon. I might do something tomorrow night. I might. The moon is just really becoming problematic, and I hate to even do any observing with the moon up. I am so anti-moon. Start gathering data on 4494. You know what? Before we do that, let's check our field. We got a cool looking galaxy down here. Get this guy, Caldwell 38, edge on. That's a glorious one. Don't know if he's an NGC or not. We'll see if we get. We'll see. Let's build this out and let's go to Sky Safari. Four 449494. Yeah, I think I saw that. What is that edge on down here? That is NGC 4. Well, that's the Needle Galaxy. 4. Oh, I saw it. Come on. Oh, I'm going to have to click on it. Let's see. Click on it. Nope. Click on. There we go. Needle Galaxy. 4565. It is one of our Herschels. All right. We might have another double here. What about 4555? I don't see 4555. All right. So I think we're good. Let me go back to our current 4494. Elliptical galaxy, a magnitude 9. So this is definitely a brighter and a bigger. It's still 54 million light years, 4 by 4, 68 kilolight years in diameter. Let's go ahead and do Needle. I think I might count Needle. We're in the same field. Needle galaxy. It's a magnitude 9, 16.8 by 2.9. So by far our longest object of the night. 39 million light years away, so pretty close, and 191 kilolight years in diameter. So edge to edge, this is our big guy for the night. He is the winner. And let's go ahead and annotate. There we go. We got our 2 annotations that we need. 4494, nothing to write home about. And then, boom, 4565. Beauty. Look at that guy. Dang, I don't know, this scope might make a pretty decent run at him one night. You know, if I can get good seeing, and this little 5-inch refractor does a pretty darn nice job on some galaxies. Look at that dark dust lane. He is the star of the night. 4565. We are going to put a star right next to you. That is called Needle. We know that guy a little bit. 4565. Matter of fact, thought I saw Burnham's with some notes on 4565. Yeah, there we go. Let me show you the Burnham's. Let me go to my full screen. Here's our 4565 Burnham's. Who took this? This was a edge on Mount Palomar 200-inch. Yeah, love that one. That's the highlight of the night. Probably we'll get through the whole list before we make that call. But great galaxy 4595. Let me get you back over to the screen. Sorry about that. Just curious, since we're doing a twofer, let's do these both. 4494. Yeah, very nondescript. When did Mr. Herschel discover this? 1785. And then let's zoom out. Let's just go. Yeah, here we go. Let's go down. Zoom in. 4595. Yeah, that's a great galaxy. Can I not click on him? Interesting. Four, 565 Needle Galaxy. Berenices hair. The nickname in Stellarium. Berenices hair. See, it's also known as the Needle Galaxy or Caldwell 38. Edge on, 30 to 50 million light years away, lies close to the North Galactic Pole, has a visual magnitude, of 10. All right, I like this one. That's good. We've gathered some good data. We are going to count these two together. 4494. 4565. Yeah, way to go. He's a beauty. Let's go ahead and pull 10 images down. That last one really helped in noise, signal to noise. We are going to mark those off though. 4494 and 4565. 1, 2, 3, 4 more. Maybe we can get some more multiples. But yeah, Needle was the highlight. He's definitely number one. What did I have? NGC 4414 was probably our number 2 for tonight. Awesome. I need to make a good imaging run at him. I might do that. Season's still good. It's still early. Gonna download that. Okay. Next up. NGC 4548. I can't say enough about Starfront, their staff, their responsiveness, what they're doing. I mean, they have so many scopes. I showed you the Starfront page. I don't know how many scopes they're up to. This is M91 4548. So this should be a bright one. Let's zoom in a little bit to see if we might get a multiple tonight. 4571 is not. What are you? It's M88. I don't know. That could be. We could have a multiple here. Let's start gathering data. And let's go to Sky Safari. And GC 4548. And we're back in thick galaxy world here, aren't we? There are some other galaxies there. Of course, this field of view isn't exactly my field of view. I don't have the orientation right. I should have corrected. Ooh, I like M91. It's a nice face on. He's 5.5 by 4.5 arc minutes, 51 million light years. Man, they have all been around that 51 million light year. I think we got out to 80 million light years earlier. And he's an 82 kilolight years. So one of our larger galaxies at about an average distance. Let's see what Stellarium does with him. Like I said, sometimes you get some good ones. A lot of times Herschels are tough and a lot of not lacking a lot of detail. This is a barred spiral. It's in the local supercluster, part of the Virgo cluster, 63 million light years away. Doesn't tell us when Mr. Herschel discovered it. Let's see how we're gathering data. Okay. Yeah, we got a lot of bright ones here. There we go. We're building. Let's do an annotation. Okay. Got that. 4571. Not a Herschel. 400, should say. 4501. Not 4569. Come on. Be a. Nope. Nope. 4559 is, but not 4569. Ooh, he's a cool one. That's M90. Okay, that's a good one. What about that 4634 up there in the corner? I wouldn't count him, but I'd zoom. I would do a slew to him, but he is not. No annotation on that. Those guys. All right, looks like we're only getting one. M91. He's building out nicely. Boy, that is a. I am not a galaxy expert, but that looks like a quintessential barred spiral galaxy right there, right? Would that be what the Milky Way looks like? I've seen so many different depictions of the Milky Way over the years, but I think the most recent theories have it with this brighter loop here, right? I think we're a lot less like Andromeda, more like this M91. I could be wrong on that, but 4548. We're going to mark him off. All right, 3 more. I think we got enough. Let me stack one more. Sorry, always should give you that, so you can really see full screen. If you want to do a screen capture, if you want to join along with the Herschel 400 pursuit. All right, we got 6 stacked images. That's good. And save that. Four, 559 is our next object. That's one of our better ones. I'll put a little half asterisk next to 4548. Yeah, little half asterisk. I liked him. All right, let's go to 4559. 4559. We're going to get close. We are going to knock off Virgo tonight. That's awesome. Like I said, I think it takes the koi fish galaxy. Okay, let's see if you live up to your name. Koi fish. or Caldwell 36. Let's check out while we're gathering our data. Again, I'm building, sometimes about 5 minutes of exposure at 30-second sub-exposures. 4, 5, 5, 9. Is this an edge on? That was the original. Okay. Oh, he looks cool. He looks cool. This might make our top 3 tonight. Let's see how big he is. He's 10 by 4 arc minutes. He's close. This might be the closest galaxy of the night, 23 million light years away. And he's 71 kilolight years in diameter. So he's on the larger side. He's definitely one of the closer ones. That makes sense. He is 10 by 4 arc minutes. So it's a 9, magnitude 9. Let's see what Stellarium says. Yeah, he could be a good one. Caldwell 36. Intermediate spiral galaxy with a weak inner ring structure. So there you go, a weak inner ring structure. Yeah, there's our data. Okay. Definitely dominating this field. Okay, I think he's a top 3er tonight. Let's annotate. See if we got anything else in the field. Annotated, no. So this is our guy. 4, 5, 5, 9. I'm going to mark him off. We're down to our last 2. We're going to knock off. Coma Berenices. This was Leo. We've been knocking Leo off previous nights. 400 Herschels, and after tonight, about 300 left. Hoping to finish in 2026. I like this guy. He's getting a full asterisk. Needle Galaxy NGC 4565 was definitely number 1 for the night. But this is number 2. I like him. I can kind of see what they're saying about a week. It's not a bright core at all, but he has some really interesting spiral arms. And some knots in those arms. I think we got enough data right there. Just 4 images stacked. Let's stack one more. There's 5. Let's see if we can get one more stack. And then I think it takes a few seconds to stack the most recently completed 30-second sub-exposure. If you'll watch the timing of it here, it'll show a stack before the image is finished. Yeah, see, it finished the stack before the exposure was finished, but we're going to stop there. I like what we got. That's excellent. 4, 5, 5, 9. 4, 6, 8, 9. 4, 6, 8, 9 is our next object. Join me in the chat. Let me know what you've been up to. Oops, I should do this. Always like to do that. Give you the option if you like to save this. If you're doing your own pursuit of the Herschel 400 virtual, then it's quite a bit of work. But again, I applaud anybody who's doing this visually. That is a monumental effort. Because it's not insignificant to do this virtually. Take some time. You got to be dedicated to this. And sometimes the objects are ho-hum. Sometimes they're just spectacular. And that might be off the beaten path that you didn't check out before. I think we're okay here. Let me make sure we're not getting into a bad place for my scope. No, we're good. Still going pretty low to the horizon, aren't we? Coma is just rising. We got one more after this. Oh, and that one's in Burnham's, NGC 4725. And I think, yeah, you know what? That might be another good one. 4725. We'll check that here in a second. But I think 4725. Yeah, I think that's a good one. 4689. Let's see. Not worried. I don't think 4725. Let's turn off that annotation. Let's start gathering data. Let's go to Sky Safari, NGC 4689. He looks tiny. Yeah, 3.8 by 2.9. He's a magnitude 10, 48 million light years. So everything's right around 50 million light years. But he's on the small, average size, 53 kilolight years in diameter. So, and at an average distance, so everything's very average. This is a spiral galaxy, so hopefully we see some structure. Let's see if Stellarium gives us a little hint that there might be some structure present. Or is it going to be nondescript? No, should be able to pull out some of this knottiness in the spiral arms. Well, does it give us anything else? It says this in here. It says it's magnitude 13. Yeah, magnitude 13 is what's listed. No, I take that back. Magnitude 12 is what's listed on the Astronomical League's page. 54 million light years. So there's oftentimes some discrepancy between your references. Let's see if we're getting any data here. Yeah, he's dim. What did I say? Magnitude 12. It's going to take a little bit to bring out that naughtiness. Let's see if annotation is marking him. Yes. And one other object here in the field, technically being annotated 4634, not a Herschel. Like I said, we're down to our last Herschel after this, 4575. Let me expand the window. See if there's any other galaxies lurking about that are interesting. Some small non-stellar objects through there. No. Little smudge there. Smudge there. Smudges. All right. 4689. Yeah, it's going to be tough for me to pull out. He's kind of low on the horizon. I haven't really monitored what the seeing conditions are out there tonight. Just wanted to do this, knock this off. I don't know if I'm going to do anything tomorrow night or not. I'll check it out. But I'm very happy to get near the 100 Herschel objects cataloged of the 400. So we're at 25% of the way through the Herschel 400. When did I start this? I have to go back and see what my first video live stream was. I really want to get enough exposure here to show the naughtiness in these arms. I can see some hints. I'd like to get a little bit more detail. Sometimes you can get that one stack that really just completes the detail of the signal that you're looking for. Let's see if we get that. And then we're going to our last object and put that up in the Burnhams. Thanks. If you've been with me all night, thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to participate in the chat. Oh, yeah, here we go. You know what? While that's building out. Oh, yeah, we're getting enough data there. Can you see that naughtiness starting to build up? Let me show you this. I hope I can pull out some detail. You got to remember, what observatory was this? This is another Mount Wilson and Palomar, the two together. Oh, they were monitoring this supernova. Supernova, which appeared in this galaxy in 1940, is indicated in the marker. So that's why 4725 made the production. But you can see the marker. Oops. Let me get over here. There we go. There's the supernova. Yeah, right there. 1940. This is an old school book. You got to be an old person to know what Berenices is. That's NGC 4725. 4689 looks good. I'm starting to see a lot of better signal here. You can definitely start to see the... Oops, sorry. Let me get you back over to the main screen. There we go. See how that's building out? That's 8 stacked images. There's 9. I think we're good. I think we got what we need. We are going to download you. See that brighter knot there? See this arm here. Our last object, NGC 4725. This is the most objects I've done in a night. And it's kind of tiring to do these and talk. Try to provide some level of education and insight. Okay. Yeah, I hope that my focal length does this image justice. And this looks like an awesome galaxy. No cute name. Okay, going right up into the armpit of Coma Berenices. I was going to look up what Coma Berenices meant. I should have done that. If you're in the chat and you can provide some insight into Coma Berenices, the derivation of the name, that would be cool. Yeah, this is a bigger object. This is good. Okay. Well, the circle there was bigger than the object. Let's start gathering data. And let's go to Sky Safari. NGC 4725. Yeah, let's see. I hope we can get some of that detail. This could be it's a bar spiral. Magnitude 9, a diameter of 11 arc minutes. While most spiral galaxies, including our own Milky Way, have 2 or more spiral arms, Peculiar Galaxy 4725 has only 1. Also sporting a prominent ring and a central bar, this galaxy is over 100,000 light years across. I think that's our biggest object tonight, and lies 41 million light years away. So at a very average distance, but he's our biggest. I think he's our biggest object. I don't remember one. I thought we were at 80,000 light years across was our largest up until now. Okay, starting to get some data. Let's see how many. Oh yeah, that last stack. That was just the one. We're only on 2 stacks. Let's stack this out. But look at, so this is just one spiral arm, they're saying. Well, that supernova, you can see where that would have really stood out when imaging this. Do an annotation, and what else? Anything annotated in here? They don't even annotate this galaxy up here. Or this guy, this neighbor guy. Who knows how close he is. Looks great. Yep, this looks good. And you see 4725. Gonna count that finished. Coma Berenices is complete. Congratulations. If you've been with me from the start, you should have 100 of the Herschel 400 virtual logged and observations recorded, and that's good. Congratulations. We are 25% of the way home. I like this one. You know what? I forgot, but he's a top fiver for the night. Yeah. I'm going to put here Supernova 1940. How much time did we do tonight? Well, we're right at 2 hours. 23 objects in 2 hours. That's about par for the course. I generally get about 10 in an hour, so it's 13 in 2. So I'll live with that. I wanted to complete Coma tonight. And this is looking great. Maybe stack a couple more. But thank you for joining me. Let's see what Starfront's going to be doing. I think tomorrow night's good. But again, the moon's just becoming very problematic. Yeah, we got tonight and tomorrow. Tomorrow and Thursday night. Then it looks like we hit a bad stretch there for a few nights. So we're heading into the moon. Just too much moon to do anything productive. I might do some things tomorrow night, especially if I can find a constellation with clusters, open clusters or globular clusters. I think it really starts to compromise the galaxies. And some of these constellations, almost all of the Herschels are open clusters. We were in Monoceros, and all but 2 of the 14 were open clusters. One was a diffuse nebula, and there was a cluster nebula combination. I think that was the Rosette Nebula. I'll do a little bit of research. I might do something tomorrow, especially if I can find a nice option where we are getting not 100% galaxies. Yep, that's probably me right there. Okay. Looks good. Looks good. How many have we stacked? 10? We're about 6 minutes in. I'm going to give this the full 10 minutes. I like this object, and I want to give it good data. Look at this guy up here. It's interesting. That has to be some tidal force associated with this galaxy, right? See that? That definitely is. I don't think that's the field. Yeah, that's associated. Well, that's something going on there with that galaxy. Interesting. I don't know if I've seen that one imaged. I haven't let too many images go the full 10 minutes of stack. But tonight, I just want to let this one go. It's a really nice galaxy. I'm still seeing this title. I'm going to call it a title. I'm just looking at what looks like some dusty arm coming off of this edge-on galaxy here. I think it looks pretty good for 10 minutes. The beauty of those starfront skies. There we go. That's it. We're going to save that guy. I'm going to save both an annotated and a non-annotated. But that will complete Coma Berenices tonight. That's a beauty. One spiral arm. Save this guy. This galaxy down here is pretty cool. Okay. That's it for tonight. 2 hours. But we knocked off Coma Berenices in our Herschel 400. Congratulations. If you've been following me and you're joining me with this pursuit, we are 1/4 of the way through the process. Congratulations. I might be back tomorrow night. I don't know if I can come up with a plan to have maybe not an all galaxy night because the moon's going to be problematic, but I might do this because the weather looks good and knock off. I'll do a little bit of planning, but so subscribe so you get the notification. We got a live stream observing God's amazing creation and in the skies from Central Texas. So thanks for joining me tonight. You all have a great evening, and I might see you tomorrow.